This very chamber has witnessed the lengths to which the universities and other institutions will go to avoid confronting this troubling reality. Now more than ever, it is critical that the federal government's definition of anti-Semitism is clear and uniform. That is the reason why we're taking up H.R. 6090. Currently, America is engulfed in a wave of anti-Semitic extremism. According to the Jewish Federations of America, there's been an over 300% increase in anti-Semitic incidents since the horrific attacks of October 7. You need not look any further than our colleges and universities, where the next generation of American minds are molded, to see that deeply disturbing number in action.
Mr. Chairman, I heard you say that it is important that this Congress take strong stands against hate. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I look at the agenda of my friends, the anti-LGBTQ agenda, the anti-women's rights agenda, the anti-civil rights agenda, basically trying to undermine our civil rights laws, or the indifference my friends have shown when the former president hangs around with white supremacists like Nick Fuentes. Nothing is said. So this selective outrage is really quite interesting to me. You know, it's starting to feel a lot like Groundhog Day because yet again Republicans are putting polluters over people. We're here today to consider 6 Republican natural resources bills that brutally attack our bedrock environmental laws and would roll back years of progress. These measures target programs that protect vulnerable wildlife and prevent the exploitation of resource-rich places, while also providing massive handouts to big oil, big gas, big mining, and other industries, all that are very generous contributors to my friends on the other side of the aisle. I mean, give me a break. H.R. 764 undermines science-based recovery plans that help protect endangered species. H.R. 615 ties the hands of federal land managers and puts vulnerable wildlife at risk of lead poisoning. H.R. 2925 upends a crucial federal guardrail in order to provide giveaways to the mining industry. H.R. 3195 reinstates dangerous mining leases that harm tribal communities, poison watersheds, and destroy ecosystems, all to enrich a foreign-owned company. H.R. 6285 undoes steps that have been taken to help protect Alaska from the exploitation of its oil and gas resources. And H.R. 3397 prioritizes oil and gas development over conservation, eliminating a leasing program that allows community groups to conduct mitigation and restoration activities on public lands. All of these measures share one thing in common. They reiterate how the House GOP will do almost any favor for their big industry friends. Republicans would rather help corporations poison our air, dump pollution into our water, and destroy our public lands than preserve our country's natural wonders and unique ecosystems. Thank God that none of these bills will ever become law. You know, Democrats understand the importance of protecting our public lands and overseeing big industry polluters. Congressional Democrats and the Biden administration are committed to making the U.S. a world leader in clean energy. We want to meet the challenges of climate change with real action. We know there is a way to build an economy that works for everyone, one that isn't reliant on fossil fuels, and we will always choose to improve the quality of life of our communities for generations to come. So the choice here is a stark one. Do you want to support our nation's worst polluters by selling out our communities and wildlife? Or will you take a stand against these bills to ensure that we can responsibly protect and manage our country's natural resources? Now, we also have before us a bill called the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act of 2023. Let me be clear. Anti-Semitism is evil. Members will vote how they want on this measure, but it is my belief that we should be doing everything we can to not just condemn anti-Semitism and express our outrage over anti-Semitism, but to actually give our government the tools it needs to combat anti-Semitism. This bill does nothing of the sort. In fact, this bill basically puts us on a path towards saying that any disagreements with the Netanyahu government's conduct during this conflict is anti-Semitic. As Americans, it is our fundamental right speak out against actions that we think violate our conscience, whether it's our own government or a foreign one. We are seeing horrific acts of both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia in this country, and it is a mistake to not approach these issues with more unifying actions that make a real impact on combating discrimination, hate, violence against anyone. We should combat hate wherever it is, and again, people will look at this bill and decide whether or not this is the right way to go, but my understanding is that my Republican friends have been working overtime to try to defund the Office on Civil Rights, which I think would be responsible for implementing what is recommended in this bill. Boy, it's interesting. You want to give the office more responsibility on one hand, but you want to underfund on the other hand. I can't quite figure you guys out. But in any event, I welcome our witnesses and look forward to their testimony. I yield back.